Today I want to talk about courage. It's easy for us to look at people who rescue others from fires, some of the people that save small children from venomous snakes. But today I want to talk about the courage that you have, the courage that you possess, the courage that you might not even call courage. Oftentimes when we walk through horrendous times, we feel so terrified or shaken, and we see ourselves as weak. We erroneously think, if I was brave, I would not feel afraid. This is so untrue. And so today I just want to talk about how courageous you are. You have walked through situations that would have terrified you had you known years ago that you were going to encounter this. Perhaps you have walked through an illness and you set your sights on going day by day, and you have continued to walk. That is a walk of courage. Perhaps you have walked through a devastating loss, a spouse, a child, a dear one. This loss may have been through a death, or it may have been through the loss of a relationship. It may have been through divorce or disillusionment or a change of events that you had not planned for. And yet you have continued to wake up every morning and face the day. You may have faced the day slowly, timidly, looking out to see if there is a reason to continue on, but you have continued and faced the day, and this required great courage. I want to tell you that you are a courageous one to have continued to walk forward. Perhaps you were in a situation that required incredible courage. Perhaps your area was evacuated because of wildfires, and you packed up yourself, perhaps your children and your spouse, an animal, and you left. You left everything that you knew as home behind as you sought out safety. Perhaps you didn't even have time to pack suitcases and boxes, but you grabbed onto your loved ones and ran. And you watched as devastation and potential devastation covered your land, whether your home was destroyed by fire or the threat of fire. What you did required great courage. And the same goes for flooding and tornadoes and hurricanes and all of the different parts of climate that we have no control over. And yet you took moves of courage to bring safety to yourself and your loved ones. Perhaps the courage was required when you could not sleep at night and you'd lie in bed awake, hearing all the anxious thoughts that filled your mind, and yet you continued on with your life. Perhaps the courage that you have exhibited has been because you have some kind of chronic pain, and yet each day you walk forward. You acknowledge the pain, and you acknowledge that you will continue to live your beautiful life. We often don't even realize how courageous we are. And so today I want to hold a mirror up in front of you so you can see the courage that you have. You can look at yourself and say, "Oh, you courageous one. I am a courageous one." I am not sure why we don't validate our incredible courage. Perhaps we have an idea that it has to look a certain way or that we have to feel a certain way. Nothing could be further from the truth. The fact that you are here listening to this meditation, listening to this piece, exemplifies the courage within you. Let's take a very deep breath and then breathe out. Breathe in the understanding and the knowledge and the realization that yes, I am a courageous one. Let that fill you. Let that fill you from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes. How you feel, whether you feel courageous or not, is not the point. The point and the reality is that you are courageous. You are a courageous one. In acknowledging our courage, we are able to see courage in others. In acknowledging that yes, we have and will continue to be men and women of courage, we are able to call out the courage in others. When we see this courage in ourselves, we are able to proclaim to others that they too are courageous. And we need this so very badly in our world today. We need to know that we are people of courage and we continue to walk forward. Together we walk forward in this courage, knowing that we are not alone and that we can find courage often in strange places. We might not feel courageous at the time, but here we are, moving through situations that may be very difficult. But we continue to move, and we will look back one day and say, I did it. Just like we can look back now to different things that we have accomplished in our lives, and we can say, I did that. Yes, indeed I am. I am a person of great courage.